Hey, everybody, welcome back. It's me, Derek Cross from the Hemp Chat. And I just want to say I have a great friend here with us today. You're going to get to know a little bit more about him. But before I do, a big shout out to our sponsor, Hemp Sense, all natural products made with 100% hemp. 100% hemp. What is that? Well, you're going to learn more about that on the show here. And for you listeners that have been out here supporting us, I want to say thank you to all the other additional sponsors, Tiny Hemp Houses, Colorado Hemp Tea, and Eco Envision and HD Innovates, just to name a few. And so we have, excuse me, a former veteran here with us on the show. I myself, former veteran, and you know, Mr. Johnson's been doing an extreme amount of work in this hemp space, and I'd like to take this time to learn a little bit more about him and what he's been doing. So he is a Master Sergeant veteran from the Air Force. And so we salute you for your service and thank you.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
greatly appreciate it. And, here in this hemp space, I kind of want to go into what got you into this, but you are the CEO of JJ Grow Enterprises, and you are also the co-owner of Active Duty RX. So let's welcome you to the show and let's get into why you got started into this hemp industry. And if you want to take it a little bit more time to expand on your veteran service to this country, go ahead. Greatly appreciate
Awesome.
it. Thank you.
Well, Derek, thank
Mr.
you so
James
much.
Johnson, everybody.
Thank you so much, Derek, for allowing me to be here, man. First of all, I want to give you props because we are currently in some difficult days, with hemp. For many decades, they have not known about this product in the United States. And to have a company such as yours, pioneering the hemp effort, at a time when people don't know, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And I really appreciate what you guys are doing there at Hemp Sense USA and what you're doing to let people further know the message of hemp and all the wonderful things it can do for us. I really appreciate that. And, it's just a blessing for me to run into you because your journey is kind of tied to my destiny, in a sense. Like you said, I did 21 years on active duty. I retired in 2016. And at the time when I retired, I didn't know what direction I wanted to take. I didn't know what I was wanted to do. And actually I had a little bit of depression, at that point in time, just my life has been devoted to serving people. And all of a sudden I find myself in a position where I have no people, so for a couple of months, I really didn't have a desire to leave my house because I just did not know what I wanted to do. Having some, issues with PTSD, struggled with purpose, I really did. And I had a buddy of mine who called me and he said, "Hey, I'm trying to start a company to help farmers figure out how to grow hemp." Well, first of all, I'm like, "Whoa, buddy, the ink just dried on my paperwork. What do you mean hemp? I'm not getting involved with weed, you know?" And he was
Yeah.
like, "No, no,
Here,
no, we're
hold
not even."
this. Hold
Yeah,
this.
like, oh, I'm a joint. Watch this,
No, 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 no. I want to talk to you more about the hemp. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
So
So he had to
deciphering
tell
the
me,
difference between what we're talking about here is we're deciphering the difference between medical recreational cannabis and
right.
agricultural hemp.
Right.
So,
So
yeah,
so I was literally starting from scratch. I'm like,
right.
"Whoa, buddy, what is that?"
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he once he got me past that and let me know, what hemp was, then he said, "I need somebody to have my back because I'm trying to get this company started." And when he just by him saying the words, "I need somebody to have my back," that was enough to get me to snap out of it because
Good.
I felt like I had a purpose now, and what he wanted to do was start an organization to help farmers figure out how to get the permits in Oklahoma because farmers wanted to grow it. The Department of Agriculture wanted them to grow it, but there was nobody in the middle to help the farmer really figure out the rules and regulations and how to get that permitting done. So that was kind of the beginning of the journey, was helping farmers figure out how to get the permits. And during that journey, I found a lot of farmers did not know the difference between hemp and marijuana, like I did not. So, I started putting information together to really help them know the difference between the two and let them know that hemp is not the devil's lettuce. It's something, totally different. And that gave them more comfort, being in these guys' living room. There's nothing like going to a farmer's living room, sitting down with them and talking with them about something, versus somebody always coming at them, about money, all the time. So I was able to actually do that, put information together to help farmers figure out, how to grow this crop, what it was, talk about the rules and regulations. And like I said, that gave me purpose. Now, fast forward time, that was back in 2017. And, along this journey, I was allowed the opportunity to be co-owner of a company called Active Duty RX. The company was founded by a gentleman by the name of Kyle Early. He's an Army veteran. And his brother Ryan Early is the other, co-owner of the company as well. Shout out to Ryan. Ryan has been doing some amazing things, man. He is the owner of Cantech Laboratories, American Wholesale Hemp, as well as Hempire Genetics. And these guys allowed me the opportunity to come in and be co-owner of this brand. And it's awesome. And it really, tied into what was going on in my life, because Active Duty RX is a formulation. It's CBD is one of the ingredients, but it's 19 vitamins and essential minerals as well, that is geared towards PTSD. It's geared towards anxiety and depression. It's geared towards helping boost the cognitive function of the brain, boosting certain signals going to the brain to allow other areas of the brain to start working together again in a way that they haven't, because of decreased, gamma frequency or gamma, waves going to the brain. So it's been an amazing journey. And they say to whom much is given, much is expected. So not only do I help these farmers, I'm co-owner of a brand, and I also have made it a personal mission to help as many veterans as I can who don't know how to properly get their benefits started the right way. Oftentimes when people separate or retire from the military, depending upon, how much time they don't have a lot of time to figure out the benefits and how things are supposed to work with getting established with the VA. So since I had the good fortune of someone kind of guiding me and holding my hand along the way, I turn around and I help other veterans, get that process figured out. I don't work for the VA in any regards. I'm just a guy who's learned a lot about the process. And in helping these veterans out, if I see someone who's got a little extra shake about them, or they don't feel quite right, I'm able to take that person and have an off conversation to the side and say, hey, is PTSD one of the issues that you have a problem with? Because I have a problem with that myself. And here is a product. And I give them a sample, man. I give them a sample of Active Duty RX Clarity and Focus, so that they can try it out for themselves, see if it makes a difference. And if it does make a difference, they can start, ordering it and getting it on their own. And if it doesn't help them, then they didn't spend any money out of pocket. I just want to help, give back to the veterans, and give back to farmers, because the farming community is the last place, in my opinion, where handshake still means something, and you can't take advantage of people like that. And you can't have these broker jokers coming in and taking advantage of these farmers. So I just don't believe in it, and I don't allow it to happen.
Well, and that's amazing work that you're doing. First and foremost, we want to thank you for that. And it is, once you get out of the military, you're like, well, what do I do now? And so being able to help others get into other roles after their service and they come back. Thank you for opening the door to the VA and explaining to people there's, being there overall for veterans.
Absolutely, man. And
And
I'm not gonna lie, do PTSD it's a daily struggle for me. I am
and
fortunate because I got a lot of good, mental health,
yeah,
therapy prior to getting out. And
right.
and I'm at the point enough now where I'm comfortable enough to kind of talk about my struggle as I can. But
Yeah.
I have my bad days just like everyone else does.
So let's talk about that. Here, you and I are veterans, amongst many other veterans
Thank you
that,
for your service as well, man. I'm
yes,
sorry I didn't
sir.
get
You
there, but
betcha.
thank
No
you.
worries. But let's not talk about me. Let's talk about you. And
Oh, yes,
let's
sir.
put this in perspective to when people come home, first off, they go and volunteer to fight for this country. I told you before the show, we're not going to get all political in this show, but
Right.
I'm going to go to the grounds of we, the United States of America, fight, live, and die for this country on this soil and what the Constitution provides for this country.
Correct.
With that being said, hemp has been ingrained into this country for the long time, and we've used it back in the day when it was suiting.
Correct.
We go and fight wars. We come home, and that's where I'm turning this into. When we come home, there's opportunity here on the American soil, putting another commodity in the farmer's hands, getting communities involved, getting these soldiers back into groups and organizations, helping their communities, helping build businesses that are grown right on American soil.
Absolutely.
Okay. North American. Let's open this border up to our partners up in Canada. The
Right.
North American, but primarily in America, what we're talking about, protecting our country. This is the fabric of our country.
Yes,
This
sir.
is the food for our country. This is economy for our country. This
Absolutely.
is medicine for our people.
Absolutely.
People of the world, but we're talking here in the United States currently, your service,
Mhm.
what you're doing with veterans. My heart goes out to you.
Thank
It's
you.
not an easy task, and
No.
it's not to be taken lightly, especially right now with our economy, how we're all, I mean, we got a pandemic going on. I don't know if you know that,
Yeah.
but this
Yeah. A
is
little bit.
another reason to support hemp and to create the jobs here locally in our communities. And that's some of what we're doing here with HempSense. We're taking our model and bringing it here into the United States with our expertise, knowledge, and wisdom, and being able to help communities grow this under the
Absolutely.
right direction. So we've seen CBD blow up and farmers all across the land, but now there's a pile up of what to do next.
Right.
So
Right.
we're able to take those things and take them into products onto the market. You have
Right.
a nice product on the market. Tell me a little bit more about Active Duty RX and what you said it's packed with vitamins and minerals. Tell
Yes.
me how that supports the PTSD. Tell me how that helps with people internally with your endocannabinoid system. Tell us
Right.
a little bit more about that.
Absolutely. So it's funny, you touched on something earlier when you said, you and I were talking, we were saying that no one person is the same. So there's no one magic recipe, for treating something. But if you put a bunch of ingredients and a bunch of things together and they're natural and they actually help, it enhances the amount of bioavailability within the body that, then that I hate to use the word medication. I try to use formulation, as much as possible because it's not, FDA approved or whatever. But those formulations can go in and help correct certain deficiencies in everyone's endocannabinoid system. So the 19 vitamins and minerals are pretty much things like, turmeric, moringa, ashwagandha root, CBD. These are all things that are good for us, individually, but you combine them together, they go in and they can create a powerful punch. So that's one of the things. That's part of the vibrational portion because we use this terminology of vibrational frequency programming is designed into our capsules. So the vibrational portion, it actually helps enhance the bioavailability, so it makes your blood cells more readily available to receive nutrients. So that's
Uh,
one part of what happens. The other portion is a frequency programming, and this is where it gets a little freaky if you've never heard of stuff like this before. But
Bring it on.
basically,
Bring it on. Let's go. Get
so
freaky.
yeah, let's get freaky. We about to get in there.
Yeah, let's do it.
So if you look at cognitive function, there are certain signals that go to the brain, and they've labeled those. There's alpha, there's beta, there's delta, there's theta, and there's gamma. These impulses, go back and forth throughout the brain to stimulate, cognitive function. And what they found through certain research studies is that people that have PTSD, they have decreased gamma function a lot of times. And the gamma signal is the one signal that actually makes all the others talk together in unison. It makes the choir sing in unison. They're kind of like the conductor, for the band, and if you have decreased, yes, exactly like that, Derek. So if you have decreased gamma, you have a problem with the others. So what our formulation does is it goes in and it helps contribute to the amount of gamma signal that goes to the brain. So therefore you increase the gamma, therefore you help all the others work together and they start, singing a beautiful tune. This is a lot of this stuff is backed up by, research. I can't legally say what university is associated with this research, but I can let you know that there is a major accredited university that's gone in and done and graded the brain scans that we've had done, the EEGs that we've had done on this product, and we've actually we paid out of pocket to have 5 veterans who have PTSD diagnosis. We had these 5 guys go in and they did a baseline EEG with no medication at all. Then we gave them our formulation and they were allowed to take it for 7 days and then go back and have another brain scan done to see what their brain function was like in comparison to not taking, our product. And the results were amazing. And that is documented. Now, that is not a formal study. And like I said, that you're talking millions of dollars, to get something like that, proven with the FDA and whatnot. But honestly, I don't give a shit about all of that. I care about trying to help veterans. So if I can pay out of pocket to go help some veterans do some baseline
What was your
work,
preliminary? What did that show?
what did it show?
Yeah, what did that show? What did that show on the yeah.
Well, and and I, and like I
After,
said,
so you said they took it for 7 days and they went back in. Did it move the needle a little? Did it move it a lot? Did it move it,
oh, it moved it.
where
It
did it
moved it.
move the needle?
It moved it a lot. Oh my goodness, it moved it a lot. Now, I'm not going to say that these people are all Einstein. They're all geniuses now, But our product has been shown to hit the
Mm,
brain within 5 minutes of consumption. So it goes in and it goes to work, helping raise that signal. So if you got that one frequency portion of the capsule that does that, along with the other vitamins and minerals, you're going in and you're repairing a lot of things. And and oftentimes with our formulation, I've heard people say this, and it's funny, a husband, going, this stuff, I took it, but it doesn't, it doesn't work. But then their wife will come back and say, actually, it is working. He's not doing this, that, or anymore, or whatever. So people are just, sometimes people are
right.
just stubborn.
Sure.
They focus on a certain result. And the thing that I've noticed about, CBD and things in general is when you take it, focus on how do you not feel instead
Right.
of worrying about, everything. It's like, okay, I've been taking this stuff a little while. What was I doing then that I'm not doing now? What was
Yeah.
hurting then that is not hurting now? That's what people need to focus on more than, is it going to help this one thing? Because we're all different. These are truly research and development times in terms of the endocannabinoid system. There are a lot of doctors still to this day that don't know about the endocannabinoid system because it wasn't studied in certain universities. But if you go check the research material, if you go check the actual entire book, that they were studying, there are studies on the endocannabinoid system that date back to the 80s. I have a very good friend of mine. She's a physician assistant. I've known her 20 plus years. And we were talking the other day, about the endocannabinoid system. And she was like, what's that? So I sent her a couple of videos on it. And sure enough, she went back and checked her medical books and the endocannabinoid system is there. It's just a system that has not gotten a lot of publicity in
Right.
terms of studies in universities. So
Yeah.
it's amazing that we're at this ground floor opportunity right now.
Well, learning more about our bodies, having the right tools in the doctor's medical box, having the right tools for your own, um, you are your own power. You are the one responsible for you. So
That's
having
right.
this information, learning more about what James is talking about, the endocannabinoid system known as the ECS, learning more about the receptors in the body, learning about having preventative maintenance. We were in the military, PMs were
Yeah,
always something we always had to do,
absolutely.
right? Preventive
Absolutely.
maintenance, no matter whether you're, you have to take your own health into your own hands. It may
Absolutely.
ask, you may need to ask a bunch of questions, but, and is this going to be the fix all end all? No, but is it a tool? Yes.
Yes.
You know, wow, that's amazing work. And I'd like to hear a little bit more insight about the moving that needle a little bit more
Sure.
and what you
There,
guys are doing to raise capital for maybe a trial, you know?
yeah,
So
I mean, definitely and I definitely want to move into that. But one thing that I do want to touch on real quick before we move on, Derek,
sure.
is why there's not more information, out there readily available. If you look at the patenting process, if a plant is growing out of the ground naturally, there's only one person who can own a patent on that. That's God. You know what I'm saying? But if you take a plant out of the ground and you extract certain components of it and add other stuff to it, now you can go and get a patent, on that particular product that you just manufactured, whether it's synthetic, or whatever the case may be. So that whole process of patenting, FDA regulation, and people not being able to acquire patents. I mean, right now, to my knowledge, the only FDA approved product that contains CBD is Epidiolex. It's a medication used to treat childhood seizures and epilepsy. So above and beyond that, there's not a lot of stuff out there currently, and it's because of the patenting process and people trying to figure out how to get a handle on that. That doesn't mean that it's not real. It just means that they haven't found a way to patent it. So that's one of those things that as time goes on, hopefully it gets better, and the FDA is willing to work more so with people from a research and development standpoint, and get bring this plant back to the forefront of where it needs to be in all of our lives.
Hmm. Right. Well, what we do know is it is being a big part of the Farm Bill of 2014, the Farm Bill of 2018, hemp and CBD and cannabis as a general overall in this country is becoming more mainstream part of our lives. So
Yes.
we've evolved with this. That's why we understand its abilities to work so well and click into the missing links of our endocannabinoid system and the receptors within our body. So, when we were hunting, foraging, gathering, we were eating plants, we s- we should really revert back to
There you go,
those
man.
times.
There you
Put the
go.
Fritos down and the Big Macs, and start eating more, earthy,
That's
because the
right, man.
earth is here to provide for us.
Yeah.
And
Let's all get naked, Derek, and run around and hunt and gather and do a bunch of jumping jacks in our loincloth.
I'm doing it. Let's do it right now. Ready? Yes, sir. Drop and give me 50. Yes, sir. But you bring up some great valid points about now, um, with all that mental visual in my head. I'm going to have a little, no pun intended, no jokes, but a little traumatic PTSD. So I'm going to have to remove that from my
Hey, man,
mind.
give me your address. I'll send you a sample.
Yeah, that'd be great. But so let's talk a little bit more about the farming because I know you're involved with farmers in Oklahoma. You live in Texas. You've been active as across the country. You have a lot of relationships. You're doing some amazing work connecting people, and I thank you. I think you've connected me with an entity or two. I
You are more than
appreciate
welcome.
all your work that you've been doing on Facebook with your Facebook groups, and just appreciate your activism
My
and
pleasure, man.
appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Education.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
so tell us a little bit more about what is going on with you in the hemp fields. How are you working with communities, et cetera?
Yeah. So basically, so in this space, you have a tendency to get pulled in different directions, depending upon, I mean, people are
Oh
all,
yes, you do.
dude, it's crazy, man. I'm like a freaking octopus. I
Yeah.
got 8 arms out here all over the place doing shit all the time,
Can I interject for 1 minute?
Yes, sir.
All I would like to say on that note, because hemp will take you down a lot of rabbit holes, just stay focused on maybe a couple areas and
Absolutely.
and
Yes.
finito. Just
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
because I have a heart to serve, man. I want to help. So if I hear someone who says, man, I just had a harvest, I've got all of this stuff sitting around and I don't know what to do with it because we don't have a buyer, it's in my nature to want to help someone, find someone for that. But then if I help one person, now here comes somebody else.
Right.
And then here comes somebody else. And then the word gets around. Oh man, yeah, call JJ. He's a broker, man. He finds deals for people. No, I'm not a broker. I actually hate it. And if you talk to me for 10 seconds, I'll let you know I freaking hate it. So that's not my thing. My goal is I like doing the Hemp 101 seminars. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I like going to small town America, finding people who don't know anything about hemp and are trying to learn. I like being able to go in and talk to them about the difference between the 2014, 2018 federal farm bill, talking about Delta 9 THC requirements versus total THC requirements.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, influencing. That's a big part of what I've done over the past 13 years in this space is being an influencer. But as important as that is, we have to recall it is very inspiring. Hemp can inspire, like we were just talking. You can go down many holes, many different directions you can go into. But in the words of inspiration, as we do here on the Hemp Chat, is inspire, educate, and innovate. So I urge people to keep thinking about hemp and thinking about other innovations that you can do with this. Okay. Work
Absolutely.
within your community, but what I'm getting at is what we've seen in the CBD space and it blown up and the prices go from way up to way down until nobody knows who to trust or buy or what in this market. If you're going to work in the agricultural hemp space with the fiber and seed, I urge everybody to go way slow.
Right.
Don't overgrow
Right.
because the infrastructure is not here. And that's part of what we're doing. We
Mhm.
have years of, over 6 years, 7 years in Canada being a manufacturer of these processes and products. So
Right.
just go slow, America.
Yeah.
We're going to
So
feed the world. We're going to work. This has been here for millennia and it's going to continue to be here through millennia
definitely.
with the right leadership. And so I thank you for your leadership going out there and educating the people.
No problem, man. And something that just came up today, you can mark your calendar, Derek. You can tell other people about it if you want to. The 3rd of January at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be hosting a Zoom webinar with a company called Hemp Ventures. I have a buddy of mine, Ryan Doherty, who's going to be talking about decortication equipment that's manufactured here in the US. So people can, farmers can know what's involved with decortication, the inputs. If they want to, start building decortication equipment in their area, anybody's more than welcome to tune into that stuff because I want everybody to get that knowledge. But going back to what you said earlier, about my purpose right now. My purpose is really helping educate that farmer, knowing the difference between a crop that's grown for CBD versus a crop that's grown for textiles, kind of like the products that you guys have. I want to make sure that the farmer knows about that ahead of time, as well as what's required from an input standpoint, what kind of money is involved, up front, making sure that they actually have a buyer lined up before they even put a seed in the ground. you
Right.
know
And so that's a great point. So as my partner up in Canada with HempSense is a buyer of
hmm
hemp. However, we have a proprietary varietals that we grow up there in Canada that are farmed, and those contracts are made with those farmers to go in and then take off and remove the
right.
materials that go into these products of our cat litter, our
There
animal
you
bedding,
go.
soil enricher, our hemp
And
seed. It's all part of that vertical chain. And
yep,
so technically we are the buyers. We are the entity that ones would want to talk to in
there
this
you go.
space because we have 11 different products in the market,
Awesome.
and that is an amazing feat by our partners and what we're doing and developing here in the United States. So that's why I don't want hundreds and thousands of hemp farmers growing right now. I want them to, what we've learned in the hemp space is to just go and grow slow,
There you go.
um, find your why,
There you go.
and go from there.
Yep. Yep. And that's what, and it's funny you mentioned, your why. Because it's no secret that I was involved in network marketing for many years throughout my military career. And I used to do personal development, and go to these different seminars, and they always talked about your why, and then it really dawned on me when you kind of understand, what your why is, it kind of stands for what hurts you.
Hmm.
What hurt, WHY, what hurts you,
Hmm.
tap into that hurt, and then reverse engineer your life around your why to better influence and help others.
Yep.
My why for this was being able to feel like I belong to something and I have people to serve. And I kind of reverse engineered a process based on that why. And that's what ultimately led me to sitting here having this conversation with you.
Why is that?
Oh, boom, boom, boom.
Boom. Anyhow, well, the why is helping people. The why for you is helping people, veterans, just humans, um, getting better. And PTSD is no joke. It really isn't. I didn't have a form of PTSD being released out of the military. I was like, yeah, baby. But I did serve over, I was right in during the Gulf. I didn't get to see any action other than we were patrolling afterwards during those times. But
Hey, every
coming back, I
contribution
was
helps others.
like, yay, I'm out. I am out. Navy, never again volunteer yourself. Navy, right? So before
Nice.
you go in, wonder about your why, you know?
Hey, my
So,
nephew is in the Navy right now. He's about a year in. So that's
oh,
that's awesome, man. Never
yeah, let
again
me get to
volunteer
him real
yourself.
quick. Anyhow, so yeah, it's very important to find your why, people. It is, why are we doing this? What do you want to get out of this? And remember, this is the biggest takeaway from the hemp seed, hemp fiber side of things, people. This is, I give advice. Some people pay me for it, but I'm going to give you guys a little free advice here as we're talking. This crop that will be here growing, and it has been growing for 7 years out of Ryan Laughlin's field, and I thank him every day. But the advice I'm giving is we have to treat this as a commodity.
Absolutely.
It has to be looked at like that. That's the advice. Treat it as it's a commodity. If you treat this like you're going to be a millionaire, you're going to not succeed in this. So
That's true.
you have to learn about it from the agronomy side of things. The hemp, everybody thinks, oh, I can just grow hemp. It'll be great. There's so much that we have under the
If you
microscope.
build it, they will come.
Yeah, if you build it, they will come. Some of that is true. However, what it is you, you can build it, they can come, and you can pile it up if you don't have outlets for it.
That's
So
true.
that's what I'm getting at. It's a
Yeah,
commodity, and there's a balance that has to be done on the vertical, and that's what
absolutely.
we bring to the market with our successes. So
Absolutely. Yep.
you know,
I agree with you there
and so
wholeheartedly.
we don't want farmers to hurt. I don't want farmers to hurt because of our good words. And so I always just reel them back in. Oh, because everybody's like, oh, I want to get some seed. I'm going to try 30 acres. I want to try
Yeah.
10
Hold
acres.
on, Slick. Wait a
Whoa, whoa,
minute.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hold
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
can do that with your own investment. And let's see, but there's not big buyers right now.
Right.
Okay.
And
Of
it's
all
funny,
those.
it's funny, Derek, you mentioned that. Let's talk about just real quick, I won't spend much time on it, but let's talk about that example that you gave talking about the 30 acres. All right. If a farmer says that they want to grow 30 acres, probably in their mind, they're thinking 30 acres of fiber,
Mm,
which you can use normal farming equipment, use some, an air seeder, drill that stuff in the ground. That's what they're thinking in their mind. But when they get ready to go buy seed, they don't know the difference between fiber seed or CBD seed. So
Well,
they buy
right.
the wrong type of seed for
Yeah.
what they're going to do. And the next thing you know, they have to have this labor force to look for weeds and
Yeah.
to, defoliate leaves. And then it's like they figure out, oh shit, we're growing for the wrong thing. We're growing for CBD instead of fiber. That's
Yeah.
not what we wanted to do. That's why I exist, is to go out and give people this information ahead of time
Yeah.
so that they realize that there's a difference.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
there is a big difference, and that goes back to the why. It goes back to having the right information. And now this is a crop, so you're subject to many failures in the fields, weather, drought. That's
Yes.
weather, but hail, rain. So not to
Snow.
mention snow, not to mention, yeah, frost, and not to mention watering, not to mention improper fertilizations, not to mention, oh, wait a second, there's a higher body that regulates this. And if I go over in certain states, the legal limit is anywhere from zero point 0.3 to 0.5, 0.7, whatever it is, you have
Right.
to grow it within those rules and regulations. So
Right.
you've got to make sure that's another risk factor that comes
Yes.
into it. Oh, and wait, hey, Derek, are you buying hemp today? No, I'm not. Oh shit. Who am I going to sell this hemp to?
There you
Derek's
go.
not buying. And I know Derek's one of the largest producers of hemp in North America. Well,
There you
not
go.
me, my partners,
Right.
Hemp Sense. We're the
Right.
largest producers of hemp and fabricating these products in North America,
Hmm.
Canada. We have 7 um, US and Canadian patents on the process of these products that protect these products to market. And we have 2 more pending as well. So we take this as a commodity. We take this as the business of experience, and we do not want farmers to hurt from this. Never.
Absolutely not.
We do this with the intentions to help the farmers.
There you go. And if you need anything grown for your products, let
Yeah.
me know, because I'll put you in touch with plenty of farmers who have plenty of acres. And
Well,
I know you'll take care of them. So I'm not
in
worried.
order for that to happen, in order for that farmer to grow, what do we have to do? We have to have products in the market.
Absolutely.
We have 11 of them in the market.
There
So
you go.
what I need from others is wholesalers, retailers that want to continue to put these on the shelf. That
There you go.
supply chain, that vertical helps make
Helps
sure
create that
our
demand.
communities are growing hemp successfully.
There you go.
So
Boom.
boom.
Go buy
Anyhow,
it, y'all. Go buy
yeah,
Derek's stuff so we can
no, go
create
buy your
more
stuff so you got a good mind and good, because if you don't have a good
Yeah,
mind, you just no help to the whole thing.
absolutely.
It's all in the
Absolutely.
mind, you know,
Yeah.
and you have one of those great minds, and you're doing some amazing things. And I'm so thankful that we found each other on this wonderful wide web.
I know, man. Our paths just randomly cross. That's the craziest thing, is our paths just randomly cross, because of your product. And then we just kind of got to talking and got to vibing. It's like, man, this is a good dude. Let's just stay in contact, man, and see where this
Thank you.
goes.
Well, you're a
So
good
it's been
dude too, man. So keep it up. And being here in Texas, we're going to have to chit chat over some of our hemp tea that we have. So
yeah, man, let's do it. I'm down.
yeah. Yeah. Well, cool. Anything else you'd like to add? Because I know you're going to get running here, and I want to make sure I didn't forget anything. I probably can
No.
ask you. Honestly, JJ, I can ask you a ton of questions, and we could keep this going. But I know you're under time constraints. So,
Yeah,
what
I
else
got
would you like to get out there of importance to your people, and how do they find you, and et cetera? So go ahead.
Well, basically, if anybody's, has more questions for me, you can always hit me up via email. My email address is James, JAMES, at JJGRO.com. Once again, James at JJGRO.com. No W. James at JJGRO.com. And I'll be more than happy to kind of, get people information based on what they need. If I had a parting message, man, I would say thank you to everyone. There are certain people that have been part of this journey, that have been, personal mentors of mine to kind of help me out. People like Ryan Early, Steve Sarich, Joy Beckerman of the world, organizations like American Wholesale Hemp, man, those guys have, if you're looking for some, and I'm not trying to sell anything, but I'm just saying they have top notch products. Their products actually gave me my mom back. My mom suffers, with anxiety and depression and things of that from time to time herself. And, I've just run into a lot of great people on this journey. And the ones that I have not mentioned, I'm sorry, Tom Jenkins, Garvin Beach, Christina Flutie. I mean, just thank you to everyone who's contributed to me being the man that I am today, with the connections that I have in this industry. And I promise to do my best to just try to help, keeping people connected with the right resources and not worrying about money. My passion is going to stay with the people and helping people out. And I call people out on their bullshit all the time. If I think you're going to if you're going to hurt a farmer, I'm going to let people know that, and if you're there to help, then I'll let people know that too. So, and once again, thank you as well for allowing me this opportunity to come out here and just, have a few minutes on your platform, man.
Oh, no, I thank you for being part of it. And, we want to make the world a better place. And my mission, personal mission, is planting seeds of wellness for the people on the planet. That's part of what you hear on the show. And, you're one of them that is out there planting the seeds. So I greatly appreciate everything you're doing,
My
JJ,
pleasure, brother.
being, just a good human being. And I thank you for your service once again. And,
Thank
you
you as
know,
well.
we live in this wonderful world. I want to wish you very Merry Christmas,
Same to you.
from my heart to you. And we have some we have some times, and we're going to continue to get through it and prevail. So,
Hey
you
man,
know,
let's find a way to get on stage together in the near future and do something crazy together. That's what I want to do. That's what I look forward to do.
well, as long as we don't have parties of three or more on the stage, we should be all right. I'll wear a
Yes.
body condom and we'll be good. So,
Freaking Navy, man. What's up with y'all in these condoms?
I don't know. I don't know. Anyhow, just there to make the world a better place, my friend. And so, Mr. James Johnson, I want to say thank you very much for being a part of this. I will put
Thank you.
all your information in the links,
Sure.
and so people can get to you directly. And we'll share this out on social media coming up here.
Awesome.
And once again, Merry Christmas and thank
Same
you
to
very
you,
much
Derek.
for
You
your
and your
time.
family. Happy New Year's as well.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you all for being a part of what we're doing here. Thank you, JJ. You guys check out JJ Grow Enterprises. So if you want to get a hold of James, he said it was James at JJ Grow, GRO.com. So I'll put all that information and links on here for you guys. Thank you, James, for being a great human being. As I said on the show, we appreciate all that you're doing, the education and helping others just heal and become better. And that's what the show is all about. Once again, I want to thank the sponsors of the show, Hemp Sense, partners of ours, and what they're putting into the market and helping farmers grow. And these products are soil enricher, which helps um, conserve water. It holds, you know, 3 to 5 times its weight in water. So that helps with not having to water as often. And some of the studies have showed that it can save up to about 40% of your watering of your plants, et cetera. It also adds nitrogens back into your soils, and it works great as uh, uh, the ability to compost as well. So when you're buying the animal bedding and or the cat litter, you can use it once and actually buy it once and use it twice in terms of composting. And that's a big thing here. We're trying to help put products into the market that are zero waste. So once you're done with it, it comes out of the field and goes back into some form or fashion of soil conditioning, etc. Try our critters hemp bedding. We have these small bags for your independent cages at home, and then we also have the 45-pound bags. You can check it out online at hempsenseusa.com. See these products, the cat litter, the amazing products. Like I said on the show, we have about 11 of them. The hulled hemp seed, if you guys are looking for hemp seed, to get all the omegas, the balance of omegas 3 and 6 and even 9, check these out. I've been selling hemp seeds for about 13 years now, and they're a great additive. to your diet, And then we also have a Pet Pro that you can sprinkle this on to your pet's foods, providing them with the omegas and the amino acids, etc., that you get out of hemp seed. That will be another show that we can talk about the health and benefits of the hemp seed. Check out some of our videos on hempsenseusa.com. Look at our absorption test, why hemp crumble. Our hemp crumble is better than the hemp herd being used in your stalls and chicken coops. So I urge you guys to go out there. Give us a call if you're a wholesaler or a retailer wanting these products on your shelf. We greatly appreciate you guys supporting hemp and what this show is all about, planting seeds of wellness for the people on the planet with inspiration, education, and innovation. And we are the Hemp Chat. I am your host, Derek Cross. And thank you guys for your time today. And always go out, make the world a better place. Love somebody, hug somebody. It is Christmas time. So I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And I want to say thank you to my friends and family for your support and love. So I love you guys. In the hemp we trust. Take care.